All right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. I'm back at you after a one-day hiatus. Um, Kind of depressed these days. Just got over a little sickness, but I realized that football season is coming to a crashing halt, and because it's coming to a crashing halt, um, purists like myself got to figure out what I'm going to do with all this downtime. No more watching live games. Um, and they get into all this off-season speculation, which I have no real interest in. But it's always something to talk about, so I guess that's okay. The talking points today, leading up to this weekend, is the NFL Pro Bowl. As you know, that the Pro Bowl is going to be playing. I think they're playing Orlando still, and it's not with pads anymore. They play flag football, and I was interested to see how do you feel about pro football players, tackle football players playing flag. Well, I can understand from a kid standpoint why it would be popular. When I was coming up, we didn't have Pop Warner. We played flags, or we learned how to play flags. And coming up as a kid, to play tackle football is very beneficial to play flags. You know, get to learn techniques like blocking per se, but you learn some evasive moves. You can get away from some people. You learn some shake moves. So that comes in handy when you put the pads on. But at the same time, there's no real translation from one game to the next. Um, but this has been an ongoing thing because if you're not familiar with what's going on in high schools, they have these 7-on-7 things. That's basically a version of flag football. You run a route, you're unmolested, you catch the ball, and don't have to worry about being hit. And when the world now has embraced flag football as an international sport and they're going to have it in the Olympics, it leads me to question the future of NFL. At first, they didn't want to acknowledge that concussions and all that stuff was created from the game, and the NFL fought it to the bitter end. And once they finally accepted that football causes cerebral damage, then they've gone overboard in trying to correct things. This is one of the reasons why flag football has come about for the Pro Bowl, so it can save the bodies of some of their players. It's one less opportunity for them to get hurt. Well, if you know they can get hurt in flag football, you better think again, because you can get hurt real bad playing flag football. I take it back when I was playing, we was 12, 13. One of my teammates, he broke his leg going up trying to defense a pass. And I still don't know how he did it, but came down and broke his right leg. Nasty. Never seen nothing look like that. You know, his leg kind of like turned into a mini shoehorn. And you're playing flag football, so you can't get hurt playing flag. But when you think about the proliferation of flag around the world, the acceptance of it, and now to see the NFL players play these so-called exciting games in flag, it leads me to believe that the future of football is going to be flag football. But the question is, will people pay ungodly sums of money to watch guys run around with no pads on? Well, that's an interesting question. They don't have pads on in the NBA. They don't have pads on in Major League Baseball. So it's not inconceivable that there's a large segment of the public that will accept flag football as a professional sport. But not me. But that's the reason why generations die out, because they will never accept some of the things that later generations will accept down the line. And the way things cost nowadays, people want to see somebody get hit. And I'm to the point where I'm thinking, instead of going all overboard on all these rules, what you should do is present a waiver form. And all these players should sign it. Look, you know this is a dangerous, vicious, violent game. And you know the possibility that you're going to get hit. And if you get hit, you're going to probably get broke up at some point. You have to accept these responsibilities. And that's not to say that we're absolving ourselves from any responsibility. We know it's a dangerous game, so we will compensate you accordingly. But we're not going to water the game down anymore to try to protect players. What's eventually going to happen is all these rules, tackling rules, you can't hit a guy in this spot, you can't hit him in that spot. The defender's sitting there thinking so much about where he can and cannot hit a guy, then the guy's just going to run right by him. And that's not good either. And when he does hit him in the wrong spot, he stands the risk of hurting himself. So you eliminate one danger, but you create other dangers. If you just let the guys go and play, then 9 times out of 10, nobody's really going to get hurt. You get hurt at some point, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get hurt. And it's just a bad situation right now. And me personally, I just don't think that Flagg has any place in the NFL game. Maybe get a co-ed league in college. Maybe you get some college teams where you can play flag football. But skills don't even translate to each other. So if you really want the best football players in the world, then you need to get away from flag because it's completely different. But I understand the novelty of it. But the other questions surrounding the weekend, Cooper Flagg dropped 49 on Con Knipple last night, but the Hornets actually knocked off the Mavericks. But Flagg is steadily getting better. I'm not surprised about his progress at all. First time I seen him play last year, I saw that look on his face when he was going to the hole trying to dunk on somebody. I was like he was at war or something. And if he's going to play like that, then that's the way the NBA player is supposed to go to the hole. And now that he's in the NBA, he's not disappointed. So I think that it's a great honor for Flagg to take down that Mavs rookie record. And is also credited with the youngest teenager ever in the NBA to score as many points. So congratulations to Flagg. But in the bigger scheme of things, is it enough to get us to stop talking about football? No. Football is going to be king, man. And as long as football is around, basketball and every other sport is going to have to take a back seat. But unfortunately, like I said, it's all coming to an end, a crashing end. Fortunately for us, we got at least another week before the inevitable happens. But it's going by pretty quick. The teams are at home, and they're getting their preparations in. So by the time they arrive to the game site, it's just fine-tuning. And my early preview of the game, people are trying to talk about what happened the last time these two teams played, and it's well documented. Pete Carroll decided to throw the ball instead of hand it to Lynch, a hot Lynch at that point. Had he handed it to Lynch, then Seattle would have won that championship. But it didn't happen. And fans talking about, well, maybe they should re-sign Lynch so he can score a touchdown against New England and win a Super Bowl. But that's not going to happen either. But what I do expect to happen is that offense of Seattle is pretty good. They're going to be able to score at least, I think they can score 24 points on New England. There were opportunities that the Broncos couldn't take advantage of because that snow rolled in, and it hurt them. And I think that if Sean Payton, and I don't know what he was thinking about, trying to play analytics instead of being common sense Payton he used to be, he should have kicked that field goal. If the Broncos had gone up 10-0, then that would have been enough of a cushion to keep them in a position to stay ahead of New England. But you set the stage to allow a team to come back and steal one from you when you don't take advantage of obvious opportunities. Put all the pressure on them. But when you don't go for it, you give them momentum, and now you're putting pressure on yourself. And then lo and behold, the storm rolls in and nobody can do anything. So you got to put that on Payton. But Payton, of course, he's not going to blame himself. He's been busy firing a whole bunch of offensive coaches. And somebody's head got to roll, and it can't be the head coach. Not this time, but he's got to do something, and he's getting rid of most of his offensive coaches, and he's the one that's making all the damn decisions. So you go figure that one out. So, um, but I say all that to say that New England's defense can be moved upon, and I think the way that Seattle is playing on offense, they'll do it. And on the flip side, they have a good defense against everybody else in the league except the Rams. The Rams don't even see them, but they got by the Rams, and New England's offense is not as potent as the Rams. So all signs are pointing to me that Seattle should win this game. But that don't mean a damn thing because you still got to go and play the game. And I think that Seattle will win this game if they play the way they're supposed to play. But when does that ever happen? The other team's going to have a lot to say about that. There'll be some matchups that the Patriots can take advantage of from Seattle. And as much as people have been talking about the temperature of Seattle's defense, if you look at the Rams tape, they show you how to break all that stuff down. So if you can get time to throw the football, you can carve up Seattle's defense. I told you that before the game even started. It was going to come down to what's his name, McVay, and how he's going to call the game. Like I say, he's like a young version of Sean Payton when he had Drew Brees. His offense is so beautiful, and his game plan is just so great. We just got to make sure we call all these plays, and we want to do that because we want to display this to the world. Never mind, this might not be the right time to call it, but we're going to show the world. And he had a little bit of that pop up when he went for it on fourth down that time and didn't make it. That was a great call by Seattle. They dropped 9 people into the route. So you got 9 people against 5. Nobody's going to get open against something like that. You only rush 2 people. And I don't think even McVay was expecting something like that. So he over there turning colors on the sideline when he probably should have just kicked the damn field goal. I know it's a smart age now, and you got AI and analytics, but if you just kick the damn field goal, it makes a big difference. You're not chasing points in the end, and you're taking pressure off the team by getting yourself in a good position. It would have been great if Denver had done it, and Sean McVay, I'm sure he could have said the same thing about himself. But just like Sean Payton, he's going to fire a bunch of people too. He's not going to take the blame. He's going to put it on somebody else. But again, my early preview of this game is that Seattle is in great position to win this game. All they got to do is go out and execute. The way they've been playing, I don't think that's going to be a problem. New England is going to cause some disruption to them, but I just don't think that New England is going to be able to slow them down. And I'll be interested to see how that takes place next week. But not a whole lot going on in sports. Like I say, I didn't come through yesterday. I caught another high school game last night. Man, this team that I'm with, they got to be the most hard. What's the word? This team is just start. They got beat last night again on the last second shot, and that's the 3rd time this year that a buzzer beater has beaten this team. It gotten slowly better, and the regular season ends tonight, and then we go into districts next week. And I like the way they're playing, but the downfall so far this year has been the damn 3-point line. The team last night had a guy, he had to hit about 8 or 9 of them, and he's the kind of guy that's a pure shooter. If you close out on him, then you can stop the shot. But even when you close out on a shot, if it's going down, it's going down, and that's what happened. Kid took the ball out with 6 seconds left, put up a shot with about a second, boom, drained it. End up losing by 3 from a tie game. But these are all bigger schools, so there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's a game you should have won, and don't really hurt you none because in basketball, as you know, you can lose every damn game and still make the state championship because the district, everything resets a district, and all it takes is to go on a run, 5, 6 games, you'll be a state champion. Go figure that. Same thing in baseball. Win the district championship, sail right through to the championship. Speaking of baseball, I told you guys I coach a little baseball. I got me a decent team this year. First 2 years, didn't have that. We got slowly better, and now I got some pieces to go along with the core that I had already built, and we got an opportunity to do something, and I'm excited about it. And I'll be reporting on that as the year goes by. But you don't count your chickens until they hatch. So I'm not going to say much more than that. But I will say that I'm highly optimistic about what's going to take place this year in baseball. If you ain't careful, you're going to mess around and be in the state playoffs. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat here. I see, that's not Selmo. What's that, Saida Jones? How you doing? Josiah and Trio Rod Squad. I just put I put that last second shot out there from the game. I put that on TikTok, but at some point today, I'm going to go and put some more basketball highlights out there. I had some good ones last night. I had a breakaway dunk. I had a couple dead-eye three-point shots that went down, and giving goals, three-point plays. Hey, there's some good stuff from last night. So I'll be looking forward to that in the next couple. By tomorrow, I have about 4 or 5 of them. So all weekend long, I'll be posting highlight videos. Can't get to it right now, but in about 2 or 3 this afternoon, I'll start putting stuff up over the next 24 hours after that. So it'll be some good content to watch. But in the meantime, you can go over to my TikTok, and it's just Sports for Real, not with Coach Hall, just Sports for Real. And I put that video up of the last second shot. And it's kind of heartbreaking to lose like that, but you just take it and you move on. Like I say, that's the 3rd time we got beat like that this year. But we're going to fight back. But anyway, I appreciate you guys chiming in with me. And I asked the question, do you think that the NFL should stick with this Pro Bowl, or are you interested in it? And half of you are saying, yeah, it's not a bad concept, which don't surprise me any. So don't surprise me at all. But like I said, growing up playing flag, it was great. And if we had flag moving forward, then that'd have been something I would have pursued myself. But even then, it would never take the place of the actual game. And I think this is what's going to happen with this flag football. It's eventually going to replace tackle football. And then it's not going to be the number 1 sport in the world anymore. All right, Mr. Carter, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm a whole lot better. Whatever I got still don't want to quite go away. They just want to hang around and try to keep me hostage. But I got some reinforcements coming, and we're going to set up a new perimeter. If that don't work, I'm going to call in the airstrike. So I'm going to win this war with this little infection I got. So I'm not worried about it. This morning, glad to see you, brother. Appreciate you, man. You just happened to catch me when I'm on the way out the door. I was asking a question about this flag football for the Pro Bowl and what people thought about it. And not much to talk about today. Just trying to get a build up to the Super Bowl that's coming. So again, this is the time I'm getting ready to sign off, so I got to go to work. But I appreciate you guys chiming in with me. And like I say, later on this afternoon, I start putting those baseball highlights up. And we'll see if I can find something to get you excited. So in the meantime, you guys, wherever you are in the world, have a great day. This is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Now, I don't know if I'm too thrilled about my Steelers picking up Mike McCarthy, but at the same time, Mike McCarthy is a good coach. And if he can get in there and give me 24 points a game and hold him down to 14, he can stay with us